Well, Jake, if we can say that the 6A, beginning of 6A district play gives us a big game or two, and we say there's a bunch of games that are interesting, maybe not big games as in this great versus this great. 5A gives us a couple of games, one from each district, that you could put as a game of the week quite easily.
Yeah, and PSJ Southwest and Donna are playing one of the first games, and it's shocking because they're 2-1, PSJ Southwest is.
Yeah, I mean, each district has some fascinating matchups. So PSJ Southwest, the thing that stands out to me is that they seem to be throwing the ball with some alacrity. Man, that was what they lacked in the past. They were a run-first team. If they get that balance going, they score a bunch of points, Donna better come ready to play.
Yeah, and Donna has a very big team that can control the clock, with the run.
Yeah.
But they've got a quarterback that came in, for Bowen, and he's doing well.
And he's going to have them score some points. The defense better be ready to run, because if PSJ Southwest, the Javelinas are multiple, man, that's going to be tough. I'm interested to see what happens, because everybody will think, well, Donna's going to kill PSJ Southwest. We shall see. Maybe so. How about Pace at Mercedes? Pace is a team that had the bye week, as most did. They scored a ton of points in the third or fourth week. Now they got a road game at Mercedes against a team that we think might be a pretty solid championship bet.
Oh man, with their receivers on the outside of their quarterback, I mean, Precious,
he's amazing.
Yeah, the only thing he doesn't do is run well, but that's okay because
he'll score though.
He
slings the ball, and he slings the hash, and he'll make a dash every now and then. I think the Mercedes defense is probably underrated. Great linebackers, they got a pretty good secondary. So Pace better be ready to play. But I'll tell you what, man, Mercedes is not unbeatable. Cal Allen beat them pretty good. But since then, the Tigers have turned it on, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, it started with Rowe, and it's just continued. I mean, the way they're playing right now, it's beautiful.
Beat a pretty good Lafayette team. All right, now, so what about Donna North at Porter? Now, Donna North has, they haven't won, but they've played close the last couple of games. They're getting better. I think this is a battle of two improved teams. So if I'm leading those teams, I say, hey guys, let's stomp these guys. We can beat them, and let's move on to the next one. We can take these guys.
Yeah, and Porter's, Porter has their win. They got their win.
Yeah, they had their moments.
And they played well. I mean, the Progresso game, I think, wasn't probably one of their finest moments, but they've been playing well.
The Nuevo Leon game ended up not being mariachis. We made that joke. It was not mariachi. It was more like the Revolution. It was tough. I mean, really, they got stomped 37-0. Okay, well, let's see who emerges feeling better out of that game now. But the big game of the week in that district is what? PSJ and EdCouch. They both had a week to rest. I would say, even though the records are 2-1, 1-2, this to me is a game of the week. Yeah. And I'm going to be there.
And here's the thing about this. EdCouch brings their defense. They're going to show up. Their defense is going to show up, and PSJ's offense is going to have to play like they have the last couple of games. You can't play like they did
No, 7 or 14 or 16 is not going to cut it. I think you got to score in the 20s to win this game. Which team will be more physical? There's a tendency to think that will automatically be EdCouch because they're strong in the trenches. But I like what I've seen out of the Bears. They don't have a ton of size, but they're pretty physical. No, it has all the makings of a great game. Which quarterback will continue his progress? I think for EdCouch is probably ahead of the game right now. He's really playing well. Castaneda and the other kid they have in there, and whoever plays out the Wildcat. Let's just see who takes the snaps for the Bears, because if it's consistent and they get the ground game going, it's going to be interesting, man. Yeah. Who's the favorite? Go out on the line. I have to ask him because I don't want to say it.
It's at home. It's at PSJ's house. But I would say EdCouch.
Yeah, or pick 'em. Yeah, I would agree. EdCouch on tradition alone right now, I think should probably be a field goal favorite. Although I'm telling you, the Bears are pretty tough. I just can't wait to see who does what to whom, because there's a bunch of great athletes, two coaches that we really enjoy. So let's go over on Thursday and have a fun time.
Yeah.
It's easier for us to say fun because whoever wins, we get to talk to the winner. Hi, coach, everything's good. Meanwhile, the other guys go off and you kind of look at them once but go,
yeah, better not. Yeah.
What a drag, man. I can't stand that. Okay, so that's the big game in 32-5A. Boy, that used to be a different animal, 32-5A. Whatever. I'm learning. I haven't said it wrong in a couple of weeks here. Now, 31-5A. Let's start with the big game because it's on everybody's mind. It really is. This is the game of the week. That one's a great game of the week. This one's a better game of the week. I had to tell you.
Yeah, look, Sherryland lost last week. First time in 2 years.
It's so weird, man. 26 in a row.
And some people online were like, "What are you talking about? They lost in the playoffs. They haven't lost a regular season game.
Read the fine print."
Ron Adame had a nice run going, and he got beat by Swain. Swain and the Alexander Bulldogs, and they were throwing the ball all over the place.
You know what I thought was interesting? You don't see Sherryland lose a lead very often. They're up 8 late. You don't see them make mistakes very often. They made a few that cost them against a good team that will cost you. I think what Sherryland says is, hey, man, who cares? We're still number one. when we're going to show it, because this upstart coming over thinking they can beat us. Let's see what they got, because the onus is on Vela, I believe.
Well, you know, and here's the thing. Sherryland lost, and I almost think it
36-35.
It gets the monkey off the back. You know, when are we going to lose? When are we going to lose? Are we going to lose this game? They lost. Now you're just starting over. Look, I just want to. For them, they just want to beat Vela. For Vela, they don't want to lose this winning streak they're on. This.
No, they're 4-0. They're scoring a ton of points, but let me tell you, the onus is on Vela because the best team in the Valley of the last 5 years are probably the Sherryland Rattlers. You can almost say not probably, they are. So, hey, Vela hasn't won a thing yet. I'm not trying to put those kids down. They know I love them to death over there. But this is their chance to step up against the big boys and be counted, so they better be ready. Yeah. That's all I got to say, because Lance Madden was out of his mind in that game. He was incredible.
And this is a 4-quarter game for them, because they've started out slow.
Right.
You know, in the first 4 games, they started out slow.
Yeah.
And they've let the team that they're playing play with them. I don't think you can do this with Sherryland, because Sherryland, if we saw from the McAllen Memorial game, they're going to put points up. You know?
Yeah.
And I know Vela can also, but they can't start slow like they have been.
Right, they can't start slow. And here's another thing. Vela's run the ball to amazing effect, about 270 yards a game through 4 games. Will they be able to run the ball against the Sherryland defense? That's the question of the day. They don't have to rush for no 270. But if they don't rush for about 150, they could be in trouble, because they need balance, all right? Now, from the Sherryland standpoint, I've heard some people saying, well, maybe the fact that they lost and they haven't scored that well against Rivetta, maybe that means they're not that good. ... But I doubt it. This is a good football team. You can't take anybody lightly, man. If Vela goes over there thinking they're going to beat Sherryland because they're undefeated, they're going to get whooped. They got to play the game of their lives.
You know, and Sherryland's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
You go there, it's going to be packed house. It's going to be a packed house. Look,
there will be dirty laundry on the field.
Oh, God.
I love that.
But look, they got Cole on the outside, who's going to stretch the field.
Old King Cole is a merry old soul. Touchdowns he can score.
Kid's so fast. I mean, he's going to stretch. He's going to stretch the secondary, and it's going to open up the middle. It's going to open up the middle and the flats. And I think if Sherryland can work those, you keep Vela on the field.
Stretch the secondary, you say. Well, if I was going to say there was a point on the Vela defense that is most pregnable or is not impregnable, it may be that. And so what's going to happen is Vela has to get the pass rush, because they don't want to have to try and cover for a while, because their defensive backs, besides old Mondo Regalado, who's a veteran, they're still learning. There's a young crew. So, boy, Sherryland has picked apart people with that video game for years, and they'd love to start doing the same with Vela. Now, I think that the SaberCats have a good chance to win the game, even though it's on the road, because Eber Lopez is a great quarterback. And by the way, parenthetically, let me add, it was only cramps. He is not injured. He is ready to play. That makes the game of the week. And I figure Sherryland at home is about a 5-point favorite, 3 to 5 point favorite.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, look,
because of who they are, man, the best team in the Valley.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody gets.
They lost by a point to a perennial playoff team that's always killed the Valley. I would see more of a difference in how Sherryland's played in the other games if you're looking to tell me they're not that good. So a 36-35 loss against a great team, big deal, man. I mean, so you wished you'd won it. You made 1 or 2 plays, you did win. It doesn't mean they're down.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is, look, it's different when you go to Sherryland. I mean, Memorial felt it too. You go there, it's a packed stadium. It's not like you.
They have yogurt at the press box. It's very intimidating. I had to do it.
But the stadium, I mean, if you go there, the stadium is packed. It's not like
beautiful, man.
Like certain stadiums, McAllen Stadium, they can't fill it.
The cavernous. Yeah, but at Sherryland, you got to walk down that narrow path when you go in, and it's all dark, and you get into the stadium, and all of a sudden, wow, it just explodes. It's phenomenal. I love that place.
Yeah, and so, I mean, they have a home court advantage.
Absolutely,
I'm not saying
man.
that you don't have it at other places, but
this is well developed.
Yes.
I agree with you. It's going to be a wonderful football game. I know I'm going to be watching EdCats. I'm not sure the next day I'm going to be at that Vela game, although it would be nice too. Okay, let's stay in that district, because I think Rio and Roma out there in Roma is going to be a good ball game.
Yeah, you know what? I like what Rio's been able to do. I mean,
against a tough schedule, man. The teams they played have been killers. They may be 1-3, but they're a pretty good football team if they can get over the injury bug lately.
Yeah. You know, and Roma's been Roma
solid.
They fly underneath the radar.
Yeah.
You know, just in time for district.
Now, when was it? Was it 1997, Jake, when they first started making overtime in high school football? We haven't had too many ties since then. I can't remember any, in fact. But Roma Palmview had a tie last week. They're going to forever go into the record books with a whatever and won. Weird, right? What do you think of Roma? They're not bad. I think the only team that beat them was Uvalde, and they're undefeated. So, no, I think that's a good game. Like many games at the beginning of district, both these teams have showed signs, especially Roma. So if they want to take a step into contention, forget about EdCats, Mercedes, all these teams. Whoever wins that game is going to be in first place for a week.
Yeah.
At least.
At least.
All right, now what else?
Valley View at Port.
Valley View at Pioneer. Now Pioneer, kind of the the frost has come off the pumpkin a little bit, if that makes any sense. They're 2-2. They started out 2-0, but they've shown they can win. So against the Valley View team that's having trouble scoring and hasn't won this year, I feel like Pioneer has a pretty decent chance.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they've done a good job. They're not they're playing the seniors. It's a senior-laden ball club,
right?
And they're doing a good job with it. I mean, they've got a good nucleus right there.
Remember what we said about the Sherryland? They're so good at football, you can split them up and they both still might make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That may be the case. Well, we're about halfway home on the show. We've talked about the district races. When we get back, we're going to talk about the sub-5As. There's some interesting matchups there. Will Port Isabel be tested by St. Joseph's and the great freshman Kai Money? Remains to be seen. We'll be back in a minute.